Hi guys, uh, this is Mikaila. I know a lot of you have been contacting me saying, "No, how's Michelle doing?" or "How are you doing?" And just to let you guys know, I did not. I've always had that name, and from now on, that's how you'll see me. You'll see posts from me. And anyway, last month I did a Facebook Live video about a seminar that my friend Cindy Whitney Clark and I were going to be doing that was delayed. And I believe that delays happen for a reason. Nothing is coincidental when we know what's going to happen. So, well, in our hearts anyway. Um, and in the description, you'll see that we have recorded something that I believe that many of you will be able to benefit from. And it has a lot to do with believing in yourself enough to make the adequate changes to go forward, not look back on 2016 or even last week. It's about creating your own intentions, your own unique intentions. Because I know a lot of times we'll look at other people who have set goals for 2016 and said, well, am I supposed to look like her in 3 months because I'm doing 120 push-ups a day? Or can we actually look within ourselves and say, look, I know who I am. I know where I can go with my body. And that's really all we can do. We can do the best with what we're given. And it is the best for what we have as people. And it's really nice to know that there's so many of you who have been supporting me in this transition over the last 7 months, because everybody in this time right now, we have a lot of people who are coming forth and saying, well, if I intended this person to do this to me, then how am I supposed to deal with it now? And in this interview with Cindy Whitney Clark, I explain a lot of how we can overcome the past baggage that we take along with us whenever we decide to have conversations with people and blame situations or people in order for us to move forward, instead of looking at ourselves and learning from experiences. And so in talking about intentions, something just came to my mind. I know a lot of people in the last, I would say, month or so have asked me, how have you been able to get on the media? How are you able to get on networks such as CNN, NBC, ABC, the major networks out there? And in the interview, I touch a little bit about that, but in 2006, I was approached by CNN to have an interview with them. And it was about a picture that I took of the towers 4 days before the tragedy happened. To make a long story short, it was not my intention to get on the media. The picture that I took, it was intended to inspire people to remember and never forget that people who we lost are very special to us and still are very special to us. So the intention was actually from my heart and not from me trying to get on any kind of media outlet. That was not my intention at all. But it seemed that the more I believed that I could inspire people with a message of hope, perseverance, integrity, those are really the things that bring us what we want, as opposed to looking for a reward and looking at people and saying, well, what can I get from them? What kind of reward can I get if I help so-and-so? It's basically what you feel inside. And when you believe that in your heart, that's really when everything happens. It becomes as if you can look at life not even in a more positive way, looking at life from a better understanding of yourself, in order to be able to go through any kind of trials or tribulations you will be going through, you currently are going through, or you have gone through. So if you were to go and now visit openconversationswith.com. It's in the description, and you can see the entire interview. So, and I see that there's a couple of people that I haven't heard from. Hi, Diane. I know it's just so many people I need to get back to. So, hi, Diane. It's great to see you. And there are a lot of questions, about that, about getting involved in ways that we could help people and then maybe get ourselves out there, expand our reach, expand our social media reach. And doing Facebook Live videos or doing things is now the wave of the future. I noticed that. There are a lot of trends going on with this. And when we decide, though, that the reward that we're getting is basically the reward of helping others, giving ourselves to other people, that's really when we get what we want, truly get what we want. And anything that comes from the heart is going to be what brings you everything you want. It's not from the mind. I'll give you an example. In the interview, I talk about the difference between a goal and an intention. Basically, when you have your mind set on something, by the way, that's Chris, the cat. I know I've posted pictures of him. He's curious right now. Of course, he would get curious when I'm doing a live video. Well, anyway, so when you look at that and you look at the fact that you have the intention to do something, your heart is set on something, as opposed to your mind. When you're setting goals, how many of you have set goals for money or for fitness goals? I know for myself, there is a calendar that I have in back of me that I created for a fitness challenge. It was one that I created a month ago that I finished, and then I said, you know what? I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied with what I'm doing now because I felt like my body plateaued. So I decided to create another fitness challenge, and now I'm not plateauing, but I'm now accepting that I can now be with what I'm doing in my workout. And it's not just about fitness. Goals are so vast. I mean, people have goals for everything. People have goals to go to church every Sunday, or to spend more time with their kids. When you have that belief that you can do it, that's really where you're going to be able to do it without having that issue of, do I really have to do this again in order to feel complete? And that's another thing. Having a goal is not going to complete you. A goal is just something that you can finish and then you're happy with, and then there's going to be another goal. But if you have that intention, that is where you can make it who you are and be happy for the rest of your life doing it. So that's really all I wanted to say. But again, go on to openconversationswith.com. Check out Cindy's upcoming interviews. I know she's going to be doing some interviews in the future. They're not posted yet, but she's very busy. But I truly believe that this is something that can help a lot of people, especially when you look at how many times we have been disappointed in life, thinking that something is going to go our way, and all of a sudden we get detoured, and then we get infuriated from the result that we get. I believe that when we are focused enough on the tasks that we have at hand and being focused on what we believe is, this is not something that this can be a life-changing experience, as opposed to something that you achieve in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. And one other thing that I wanted to mention that just came to me about intention is when I trained with my mentor in sales, he told me, whenever you sell or whenever you try to convince somebody of something, even yourself, when you try to convince yourself to do something, basically, facts tell, stories sell. And the fact is, if you are seeing yourself having a better body image, a self-body image. And you're telling yourself, well, I already know, I see that already. And it's in my heart that this can be true. As opposed to you saying, look at that other person. I want to see how far I can get to look like that. Or even in yoga nowadays, I see people say, that's my goal. I want to do that. How deep is the experience going to be for you if you are only achieving a goal that is based on your comparison of somebody else? Usually it's very short-lived. And when we can understand that a lifetime of joy and the experience that you get from living from your heart's intention is something that can never be replaced by anybody or anything, because it's what you showed up to do, and it's what you show up to be every day of your life. And that's really what our interview is going to be about. And I really would love if you were to check it out and share it with other people. Anybody who you know is looking to change their mindset, looking at other ways on how we can change the way we think about ourselves, about others, and thinking mindfully and peacefully in our own space, and not worrying about what the media says and what the public says, just about what you say, what your heart tells you. And that's really where the truth is anyway. It's found in your heart. And I believe that the mind tricks us into believing otherwise sometimes when we project our visions towards something that's negative that we see on TV, or we see on a TV show, or we hear gossip coming from everywhere, obviously. If we go on Facebook, if we go on Twitter, if we go on anywhere, we're susceptible to a lot of ignorance. And the only truth that can be found is actually within us. It's within our truth. So, thank you, George. I'm really happy to be doing this with Cindy, because she and I have known each other for 10 years, I think. And a lot of us nowadays, with online social networking, a lot of us have never met face to face. We've only known each other for a long amount of time. So hopefully she and I can get together in person. But find out more about openconversationswith.com and check out our interview. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact either Cindy or myself, and I'd love to hear your comments on it. So thank you guys so much. I am out, and you guys have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I think I'm going to stay in. It's getting cold. It's getting cold here. So thank you guys so much. Love you. Namaste.